Did Kelyne,
Yeah.
did Kelyne, did Kelyne start with the ideas of the putting together, the separation, the symbolism, or did it happen as she was working? She put it down and she said, and you said, Kelyne, oh, that looks like this. That's a good idea. I can develop this. Is that the way you did it?
No.
Or did you start with the idea of the embrace?
Sorry.
No.
I started with embrace.
So you were knowledgeable. You knew something about the symbolism that you wanted to represent on the
Yes.
on a tableau.
I wanted the embrace because I've been working with a figure, there's one line figure the last 10 years. And they are the hands of this figure. They are the hands. So
Yeah,
there's a kind of 3 fingers.
yeah.
And I wanted to make this figure more meaningful. So embrace something, embrace. We keep moving from one. I'm from Brazil, so I moved from Brazil to America, and then I went back to Brazil, and then from Brazil I went to Germany, and then from Germany we came here. So we keep moving and having to embrace the diversity, embrace the difference, embrace the new, embrace the bad, the good, and so. And I wanted my figure, this representation of a human being, to be able to embrace everything. You know, it's not just accept, but embrace. Embrace doesn't mean blind acceptance.
What do you make the difference in embrace versus acceptance?
Versus a normal acceptance, okay, but a blind acceptance not. So I embrace, but I analyze. I can embrace something and try to change if I don't like, or try to put my input inside that too. When you just accept, you don't do anything else. You accept and that's it. So for me, there's a difference between I embrace something.
I agree with you.
That's it.
Embrace is a very strong feeling where you accept it within your soul, basically.
Yeah.
That is, you make it as part of yourself.
That's it.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
And then I
very far
yeah.
removed from accepting.
Yeah, and I started then with this embracing, so this figure embracing, so getting more active, not just being aligned, doing nothing, saying nothing, but being active, embracing. So the first step of this series was this embrace, and it took me 2 years to finish the series. I worked 2 years in this series.
I'm thinking about how to do this in a
Painting.
figure.
Yeah, painting. So, but I started with embrace, and everything else so came to me while I was doing. So I knew that I wanted to do something with the embrace, but I didn't know which 7 images I will use here, and what I'm going to do with the 7 images, which colors I will use.
How did you pick them?
Yeah, and that's very interesting because I always say that the painting talks to me. So most of my paints, I have like 10, 12, sometimes 14 layers in each of the colors. And sometimes you see a yellow, but maybe I started with a blue.
Yeah.
And after 3, 4, 5 layers of mixed in my blues, because they are not the same, so the paint looks at me and says, do you know what? Actually, I don't like this blue. And then I start changing, and all of a sudden, the paint says, okay, now I like the yellow. So, and so goes and goes, and I keep talking. So it's a conversation between this piece and myself. And since I don't sketch anything, so I got asked once, if you don't have a sketch, you don't know when the piece is ready, because you don't know how the piece will look like. Again, back to the conversation. So we are having the dialogue, we are talking, the piece is telling me, I don't like the yellow, I don't like here. And all of a sudden, there's no talk anymore. We are not having a dialogue anymore, so the piece is ready. So in my mind, this piece is ready to go start a conversation with somebody else. And will be the person that maybe will stop in front of the painting when walking by and say, oh, interesting, and goes back and stop there. Or maybe we'll go further and buy the piece because there was a conversation there. So therefore I know this piece is ready. And from the moment that I put my name behind the piece, it's ready. We are not talking anymore. And so came. So all of a sudden I had 7 groups of 4. And I stopped most of them in the last New Holiness. But then one day I decided to go forward in one of the groups. And they are the 3 pieces when you go out here, hang on the right side. So I went a little bit further with the New Holiness. So there's a New Holiness, I think that's number 4, 4.1 and 4.2. So I kept going because I realized that like in life, you can keep going deeper and deeper and discovering even new things and annoying, you say facetas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went a little bit further in this one group just to see how far I could go. And I realized I could go without a break, without limit. So you can keep going, going.
Yeah.
But
and what about the Lornay came in on the side? There she was?
Heavy. So she came to me and started, make a correlation there. I said, oh my gosh, Sana de Lornay is going to be turning there, where she's laying down right now.
But you could stop at the Lornay because she and her husband were already a pair and they were already on view and they had already their business going in that morphism and all that kind of good stuff. And so, but it is a wonderful idea, but I think that... No, but I think it is just an affirmation of the history of painting. I think of that it always comes back and you can see it. That's why the critics have got such a wonderful time and painters can copy and etc., etc. But it's evident that your work is a far bit further away than the Lornay, because the Lornay is much more the modern woman, you know, whatever her name is, who goes with the big glasses and puts all that stuff. What's her name? No. Comment s'appelle-t-elle?
Tamara de Lemika.
Iris. Hein? C'est son nom. That's Iris who dresses up, and she's a woman my age, so maybe she's dead by now.
No, she's not dead. No, she's not dead. She's still in very nice form. She's the geriatric style.
Yeah, but this is, and they, you know, people in that field, I mean, they put her and people like she is up as models, art pieces. And I wouldn't put it in the same corner as yours, you know, because there's nothing to think about here. There's something to think about with your work. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, please, yes.
I'm very happy to have been here and listen to the talk and understand more deeply the work of Kelyne. I love the idea of zooming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, Kelyne, what would be the following step, zooming in more, and what would you find? If you zoom even deeper, you know, you get even closer. So
I think at the very end you find the pure color. That's what I think, because you are going to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and take all the structure, all the lines, all the and you're going to have to work only with one special hue. And
are you ready for that?
2 more years. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing, I think.
But actually, while I was seeing the evolution as it was presented in the close-ups, it reminded me of two things. It reminded me of a sense of infinity, because even though you don't go to the last, maybe the last soup, really it's never ending. I mean, you even said it was maybe color after color, maybe, you know, it just transforming. So there's this sense of change that it really struck me. And also there's this theory, the name is a bit negative, but it's the teoría del caos. Theory of chaos. Yeah, which is like this sense of there's a microcosmos inside of a microcosmos inside of a microcosmos. So I thought it was really striking to see. I really appreciated it.